Hi, friends. Welcome back to Great People interview series. And today we have amazing guest who's built this team of 30 people across the world, of course, not just in the UK, from the three directors who started off. Um, and let me pass it on to our guest. Could you please introduce yourself and let's get started with this amazing interview?
Thanks so much, and thanks for having me. So I'm Rhoda. I'm the COO of Automated Creative, and we've been going for 7 years now. We started as three directors, all from ex-creative agency that we worked at together. And now we're in the tech space, and we've built a tech platform to kind of deal with all the issues and like parts that slowed up that advertising process when we were in our creative agency. And something in particular was always around not necessarily knowing why a creative was doing well. So the business has been built around creative effectiveness, and ultimately kind of giving us actionable insight as to why the ads are doing well. So we track every ad that leaves the platform, and then deliver back insight as to what is actually useful for a creative team to know so they can build more ads. And so it's this ongoing process of optimizing ads based on that insight. So the creative's always improving, and we're building out this like DNA library of creative insights that can help guide clients across their whole business on all their platforms and for their like media and creative briefs.
Amazing. And you have clients across the world. You have clients in New Zealand, Australia, which are being serviced by nearshore people that you have there. And you also have people in other parts of the world. Can you please briefly touch upon that?
Yeah, so we started as us three directors in London, and now we're 30 of us. We've got 4 over in Toronto and Canada, 2 in Argentina, 1 in the Philippines, and then the rest of the team are all UK based, but we've got 2 of our dev team are up in Scotland. So lots of remote work, although we do have a London office that we hang out in kind of one day a week so that the UK team can meet up with each other. And then once a year, we do an all company meetup. So we fly everyone in and hang out together. So we've done like the Peak District. We went to Antwerp last year.
Wow.
So everyone have a bit of time together to kind of build relationships.
Absolutely. I think, that's the kind of theme for today's discussion anyway, isn't it? This once in a week you come together and the purpose is not just to work, but actually meet each other, have fun. And so that one work day in the office is actually somebody would look forward to, rather than those Monday mornings where you say, now I need to go to work. Oh dear, right? Instead, is that one day where you're saying, well, actually, you know what? I'm going to take a break from my stressful days. And although I will be working, but I think it's going to be much more fun. So with that, I think let's move on to the topic that we have chosen today, which is an amazing topic for the audience: work nice or go home. Um, Rhoda, could you tell us a little bit about your thought behind choosing this as a topic?
Yeah, so it's kind of born out of, I know there's a opinion of kind of tech businesses that it's all around hustle culture, working as many hours as you can. It's supposed to be tough. And we definitely try and turn that on its head. We all enjoy our work here. We've got built a really strong culture, but that isn't just about as many hours as you can put in at the office. It's definitely not about presenteeism. We've got remote working policies. So we've had people work, like I've done two batches of working in Barbados. We've had one of the team work in Bali, in Sri Lanka. And it's all about kind of coming to work to do your best work. And the best way you can do that is to be enjoying life at work, not working too many hours. And so a few other things we have is we've got no meeting Fridays. So Fridays are no meetings at all, so that everyone has time to do deep work, prep their to-do list, get ready for the week after. And we also have 3:00 finish Fridays. So it's a nice early finish to get ready for the weekend and be ready for the week after.
Wow, that's amazing. I think, hey audience, I think you heard it right. Uh, it's an amazing company, isn't it? Would you like to work for them? Well, here is the apply button. Click now.
We're always looking for good people.
Right, absolutely. I think it's the company which is, in a way, telling their employees that we care for you, isn't it? 3 o'clock Friday. Um, well, many of us anyway shut down towards the end of Friday, but that's because we choose to do that. Or sometimes there is a little bit of guilty feeling that I'm kind of cutting it short on my Friday. But I think this is kind of employer encouraged shorter Friday, which is amazing. And I think, as you rightly said, in today's world, it's so competitive. Everybody wants to put in as many hours as they can, and especially in your environment where you have, people working in different time zones. I guess, you know, um, it must be more difficult to connect to people, and that means you probably have to work sometimes out of your time zone, out of our UK time zone, to connect to them, to talk to them. Maybe it is 15-20 minutes, but it's still that personal time that you have to kind of mix into the work time. And then the same employer is saying, we care for your timing, we care for you to get fresh, and no meetings on Fridays. That's another way to tell employees that, cool down, have a wonderful weekend. Life is more important than money, or just the money.
Exactly that, but it's definitely around that's where you get the best work. Everyone if you're overworked, you're not going to be working your best, and working the right amount of hours and solving the issues when we are feeling the stretch, we're too busy, that we can solve that with tech. So we've got a platform that we've built for our clients, but ultimately we also build elements of that to help our own teams do their jobs more efficiently. I think there's lots of chat at the moment around like AI replacing jobs. We're definitely not seeing it that way. We're seeing it as, how do we work with AI to make our lives easier, to make our lives more efficient, to allow us to work in lots of different time zones and not feel like we are stretched in that process. So yeah, that's kind of where the go nice or go home came from, which is it's not around hustling. It's not around kind of, there's definitely tech businesses out there that will kind of stretch the truth a little bit on what features they have available. So we are lovely to our staff, but also to our clients. So we want to be really nice to our clients, and that we consistently get praised on our customer service. And being a partner to them versus just being like yes people that are just kind of saying, yes, we'll do whatever you want, we're your supplier. It's around kind of being a bit more of a consultant and saying, right, is this the right thing? Are you using stock that's representative of your client base and your audience base? Are we giving you fair fees that are representative of the work that you need to be done? And if that work's not happening, can we move that fee onto other work so that it's not kind of they're getting the most from their scope. We enjoy working with them, and then we can use that kind of time and space that it gives everyone to be more creative and innovative, and show them new things. Like we've built some really cool AI tools recently. So we've got this AI GPT team where you kind of have your HR GPT and your legal GPT, so that you can build out the parts of the team that we don't need internally, which is legal counsel and kind of full-time HR advisors. And instead, we've got advice platforms that can be used for that. And then in platform as well, like building copy lines, building creative, kind of all being led by AI, so that we've got more time to do our job, speak to our clients, and chat about the bits we get excited about, so strategy and creative.
Wow, that's amazing. That's amazing. I would like to invite your views on respect for the freelancers, please.
Yeah, so I think like respect as a whole is really important. I think I freelanced previously before working here, and we actually have a massive, strong team of freelancers that we use all the time, and we love working with them, and we really include them as part of the team. And it means that they want to come back and work for us. They'll probably be a bit kinder on the overtime if they need to do extra work for us. But also sometimes they go and work at companies that we then want to work with, and they'll recommend us. So we try and always pay early. We treat them like any other member of the team. It's not you're coming on to pick up the crap that our team doesn't want to do. You're coming on as part of our team to build out our business. And we do rely on that quite a lot as a small business, to have lots of good people in lots of places that we can call up at any moment to help us out.
Amazing. Well, while we talk about employees, I think we want to build that trust, that bond with our employees, and if we really want to create a bond with the employees, an employer really needs to go beyond the salaries and see exactly what is it that they need, what is it that we can provide beyond the salaries. So I know you have been very creative in the way you have been managing the company. So I would like to know your creative areas and how you have been able to service your employees beyond the salaries.
Yeah, nice. So I actually have a really good example, which is that in the last 2 weeks, 2 of our ex-employees have come back and said, have you got any jobs available to us? Because we miss working there, which is always a good sign. And so I think that's built out of, we do have some strong values that we stick by. Lots of them is around trust, transparency, always explaining why, like, yes, we obviously aren't just always nice. You can't just keep promoting people and doing stuff. It needs to be built out of actual good work. And so it's around giving, like, so for employees, I'd say it's kind of threefold. We give really good feedback. We track goals and make sure that they're working towards the thing they want to do. And we've got 2 examples in the company where our head of client success became our head of strategy, because that's where she was more passionate. That's where her skills lied. But we knew she was a great member of staff and we wanted to retain her. So let's build a new role in the right space. Similarly, we've got an account manager who much preferred the ad ops side and didn't necessarily love speaking to clients on calls. So we've built out an ad ops team because he was such a good member of staff. We wanted to retain him. And actually, ad ops team helps the wider team take work off that they don't like. So it's around building the business around the staff versus kind of building the business we want to see. And that retains staff, keeps them happy. You asked me something else there, which was, around the creativeness of kind of keeping staff. So I think the key ones would be obviously no meeting Friday and 3 o'clock finish, but we also have ClassPass, which is like a wellness platform, so everyone can go out and do gym classes, but you can also get like massages and stuff. So that's a perk, and we sometimes book those classes together on a Thursday, and we'll all go and do some yoga. We've just launched a volunteering program. So we've got like a matchable volunteering thing, which came off the request of the team to be like, we want to do some more kind of social responsibility work. So we went out there, found a partner, and now we've kind of got a volunteering platform that people can take time out of work to go do something nice for the community or use their skills and provide kind of social media strategy for local charities.
Wow, that's amazing. I think that social element has become I think the biggest thing these days, because we're looking at the local businesses, especially smaller businesses, struggling to survive with this expensive rents and all that. And globally, we also see that everything is unstable. So I think people are realizing more than ever the need to go out and do something about it. We can't just watch the news and not do anything about it, and or probably gossip over a beer. He should be doing that, and that prime minister should be doing that. We can barely run our families, and we are talking about how a prime minister should be running their country. But yes, I think people are becoming more aware, and we see this as a trend in many companies where employees want to volunteer, do something that helps the community. And we are also seeing that If it's a global community or anything with a global impact, they are even happier because we know other than the financial troubles, we are kind of, having the best of the lives in the UK. Whereas in many parts of the world, I think they have different challenges. And we work in some of the African countries, and uh, they're struggling. Well, we talk about online, being digital, AI, but those people are struggling to get the basic internet connection because they have to buy the data pack. So, London School of Digital Business can provide an online course, but they don't have internet to pay for. So, I think they have some different challenges. And again, I think it's good to see that employers like you are supporting employees to go out and do that kind of work. You're finding partners and encouraging. I think that's amazing. That's probably the best thing for this audience as well to know that guys. I think we will be profitable. We want to run the companies and sustain ourselves, but at the same time, we cannot underestimate the need for the social impact. And you might think, well, 1 hour a week, but then it goes a long way to making one life in one country.
So I think as well on that, the adaptability of the different countries is really interesting, and it's something that we definitely learn as we start as a UK business. We're so used to hiring in the UK, and things just work a certain way that you're used to because that's how you've been paid in your past agency. But yeah, recently hiring in Argentina was an interesting process because the Argentinian currency fluctuates so much that you can't have an annual salary there. You have to have a monthly salary, and often people are paid in USD because they can't control the fluctuations of the currency. So we had to learn how to build our job offers around the kind of country needs.
Yes.
For our partner in the Philippines, there's been a typhoon recently and her internet was out. And so, of course, we just need to adapt. It's not her fault. That's kind of challenges we don't face in the UK that we're learning to face in other countries. But then we all are just really transparent about that. So I think coming back to that kind of piece around enjoyment, it's the transparency of we are pretty open about the finances of the company and where things are going and what things are being spent on, and even our most junior members of staff see the revenue sheet so that we can kind of discuss, right, we've had a really strong month. We have a commission scheme so that everyone benefits from that. So if we have a strong month, everyone gets some extra cash off the back of that in kind of quarterly bonuses. And then if we see a lower month, we're all discussing that and saying, right, we need to free up some time. If you guys take on this, the senior team will have more time to grow this, and then we'll all benefit.
Wow, that's amazing culture. And I think I do respect, your honesty, transparency, and to, every employee, you're so transparent. I think you're building not just a business, but you are building a culture. And that's fantastic to see. Really impressive. So coming towards the end of our time, but I must say that it's been impressive journey so far, and what you have created is amazing. What are your expansion plans?
So as in how we want to grow in the next year?
Yeah, where do you see yourself in 3 years' time?
Nice. So yeah, we've definitely seen our most growth in the last 3 years, and we want to continue that and do it even faster. We've got four new hires just in August, and hopefully 6 by the end of the year.
Wow.
But our goal is not to continually just put new bums on seats. It's around building the tech to go with it. So do we need a new person, or do we need more efficient tech to make everyone's lives easier? But yeah, both goals are definitely just continuing to grow our client accounts, but also improving the tech, which means that we can sell more areas of that tech to different clients. So, for example, more platform integrations. We're across all the major ad platforms, but we're now adding in kind of retailer integrations, so like Target, Walmart, and so on, to allow clients to kind of serve banners to loads of different retailers, which is quite a manual process at the moment. We are adding lots of new data tools. So we've got, at the moment, the clients get a live dashboard, but we've just built a chatbot where you can talk to your data. Because if you've got a dashboard and you've got data for 3 years, it can sometimes be hard to even though it's presented in a nice visual way, you're still unsure what you're looking at. So being able to chat to that data and kind of ask questions speeds up everyone's lives. And our long-term goal is to get away from massive slide decks. In the kind of spirit of automation and efficiency, making massive decks of loads of slides isn't the best way to work. And I do believe quite strongly as we come into 2026, 2027, there'll be ways to do that via AI, via automation, where it's not loads of people making 80 slides. It's how do we condense that information with AI into 5 kind of key takeaways that everyone actually can read and then digest.
Wow. So while you're growing, where do you see your success factor? What is your USP in the sense of marketing? What's your go-to strategy? And let me split this question in 2 ways, 2 parts. What was your go-to market strategy when you started and when you didn't have many clients? And what's your go-to strategy now that you have many clients, if at all the strategy is different?
Yeah, no, it definitely has evolved. I think when we started out, it was more around acting like a tech-enabled agency for our clients. So we're coming in to do strategy, creative, media. We're sitting between your creative agency and your media agency, and making all of the parts of that easier. So traditionally, those 2 teams don't necessarily talk to each other that much. The client sits in the middle. We're trying to bridge that gap, which has happened anyway in the past 5 years with how ad platforms now need hundreds of different specs and sizes. So the platform automates a lot of that for you. But the bit that has kind of evolved with us is that our kind of business mission at that point was to become the non-negotiable part of any client's like agency or tech stack. So every client needs a creative agency or in-house creative team, and every client needs an in-house performance media team or media agency. But we're trying to make that non-negotiable middle part, which is every client also needs an ad tech platform to bridge the gap between those 2 things, have everything tracked, a content management platform that both teams can log into and do the tasks that they need from the creative end and the media end. And as we've done that, that's where the go-to-market strategy has evolved into actually, we don't need to be part of this anymore. It's let's hand this over to the clients. If you've got an in-house creative team and an in-house media team and you have our platform in the middle, you don't need to hire as many people necessarily. You can use the platform to speed up the work that the creative teams need to do with designers, speed up the work the media teams need to do on reporting. So that's our kind of biggest change, is pushing towards actually just being a software that we give to clients to build and improve their teams versus needing our team to deliver it.
That's fantastic. That's amazing. And I'm sure, many people watching this interview will probably understand where you come from, what exactly you do, and the kind of value you bring into the business. From a business perspective, at the same time, from a cultural perspective, you bring in a very strong culture team, and I'm going to encourage the audience to consider your business for their needs. And this is not really a marketing thing, but I really feel impressed with your journey and your approach. So I just said out of just talk, and it wasn't really planned. So thank you so much for your time.
Thank you so much.
Cheers. Bye for now.